Hey everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is your host Tom Quee. Thanks so much for joining me. Before we get into today's episode, please follow the show on Twitter. Please like the show on Facebook. You can message me through there as well. I love people getting in contact. Anything you want to say, battlerapresume@gmail.com as well. The Twitter, obviously, as I said, please subscribe to us on YouTube. Please follow us on iTunes. Please check out the archive. There's loads and loads of episodes there. You know, just recently had Lunacy on, which is crazy. So definitely check that one out if you haven't. We've had loads of big guests, loads of small guests as well. You know, I've had people like Dago DeVarlo, and I'm sure they won't mind me saying Jason Amoral. That was a really good episode that I think deserves more views, but they all do really in my eyes, obviously, because you know, I'm in them as well. But yeah, thank you sincerely to everyone that has been listening. And my guest today is someone that I've been, you know, wanting to get on for a while, a sort of newcomer, I guess, in a certain sense, really. You know, only been around since 2013, but definitely made a huge impact, kind of stormed through the scene, and rightly so. Rivers, what's good, man?
How you doing, Tom, man? How you doing, man?
I'm really good, man. And like, I mean, your first video's 2013, but had you been battling a lot before that? Was it more rap or?
No, like, before that, I was more on the kind of music making side. So obviously, not so much battling, so to speak. But obviously, I had actually had a battle before, back in the kind of on-beat battling era. But obviously, I never continued it on. I just went into the whole making music thing, and literally Gizmo was my first battle.
Yeah. But I mean, like you say on beat, battling on beat. Is that something you'd like to do more of, or?
Do you know what it is? I think the on-beat battling thing has changed a lot from how it was in the time what I'm talking about. In the time I'm talking about, it was more freestyle based, you know, and it was kind of like, you know, like now you could jump on a grime beat, a trap beat, a hip hop beat. Back in them days, it was just more like hip hop, basically hip hop freestyle on the beat, you know, 1 minute round, something like that.
Right.
So it's a bit different than how it is now. So now it's kind of like on beat now. It's kind of got the same structure as a cappella now, where you put your stuff together and go in the ring and do your thing in it. So I definitely would do an on beat battle soon, innit? Like sometime in the future, definitely.
And would you prefer it to be on hip hop? Would you be able to do grime or what?
Yeah. I'll be able to do like literally. I'm one of them people that I feel like as an MC, you have to be able to touch all types of tempos, all types of music, all types of beats. So there's no type of music that I'd think, oh no, I can't do. Maybe like drum and bass, because I never really had that. I never really had that flow to me. But you know, like grime, like what was called garage and what's trap now and hip hop and rap, or however you want to put it, I can definitely jump in within all of them different types of genres in it. So
yeah, awesome, and that would be definitely like a beat fighter future event or something like that. Like
something.
Yeah, that'd be really good. But you know, we'll get onto the battles themselves.
What's funny, Giz? I heard your bars are sick. Nah, your bars are shit. I heard your Marge is fit. Gremlin face, but the largest tits.
First battles against someone that I actually know from Gift of the Gab, Gizmo, because he battled Shocks.
Yeah. That went to the URL page, that battle there still.
That's fucking mad, isn't it? That's the first ever UK guys on the URL channel.
Yeah. It was a good look for everybody.
Yeah, well, it literally was, but the commenters, they just pissed me off, Rivers, to be honest. Like, they really didn't give it a chance because of the accent. It was just like...
Yeah, but you know, it is... I don't know, I kind of expect that with like the American fans, to be honest. I kind of expect it, because one thing about the American fans I find is they more like it when you go over there and prove yourself to them on their kind of platform in their country. Then they kind of give you the respect, because you got to think about it. Like I was telling one of like my little young Jesus, I was saying to him, basically, when you're dealing with fans of American battle rap, you're dealing with people that don't battle, so they already have some type of contempt towards you because you battle and they don't. Even though like you're from UK, you battle, they're from America, they don't battle, and it makes them feel some kind of way in it. So until you prove yourself as a UK battler on the US platform in the US, then I just feel like the fans will never really. Like, I've seen them kind of, I don't know, take to certain people, but I feel like you really have to prove yourself. Like I always say, like seeing Kruger battle Illusion Z in California and win is one of my most inspirational moments. In battle rap. it's the moment that made me say, all right, cool. Like, I always had this stigma that, all right, cool, we're from UK, they're American, we can't beat them in a rap battle. But seeing Kruger do that made me think, all right, cool, maybe we actually can. Like, maybe we actually can. And that kind of spurred me to say, all right, I'll jump in this battle thing if I get an opportunity, you know?
Yeah.
So I just think... Sorry, go on, man.
No, I was just going to say, like, you taking inspiration from Kruger. I mean, obviously Kruger is one of the greatest ever, there's no doubt, but I guess I never would have predicted that you would do, but I totally see what you're saying when you think about it, because, like, it was such a kind of planting the flag in the foreign territory, wasn't it? Like, and as well, he battled Reverse Live at that event, and it was just like... You know.
But I think went over there, but I had already seen and Archaic and like What's His Face and them type of battlers from way back in the days. Kruger was a little bit more new. You know, like that. Like, obviously, I more knew about from the days with Possessed and them type of people. So to see, like, Kruger, to me, after that generation there, he was like a newer part of that generation, UK kind of thing. He's gone over there and he's just killed it. And Illusion Z, he's not, like, I feel like he's not the typical battle rapper. He has got content to him. He's got a different, unorthodox kind of style. So you really have to, you know your stuff to beat him. You can't beat him with the usual stuff you could probably beat everybody else with. So I was impressed with Kruger's performance that day more than most other English artists that I'd seen go to America before, innit? Completely. Stood out. It was standout.
Yeah, it really was. And, like, I think Kruger is still one of those people you can say to the average King of the Dot American battle fan, oh, of course they know who Kruger is. Like, you know, he's going to have some big respect if they battled Saurus as well and various other people. But just to touch, before we touch on the Gizmo battle as well, I just want to reiterate something that I always say if it, like, kind of URL comes up and kind of English people on URL. Like, Shocks needs a PG, like a real PG. Like, that would be fucking amazing.
Yeah, of course. But I feel like, obviously, I think the math battle, Shocks and Math, is not happening for whatever reason now. But I think if that had gone down, then I would never have wanted to see Shocks ever do a PG in America. I'd want them to just set something up decent for him if he proved himself against Math. But I think now, because that hasn't happened, then maybe he can do the whole PG thing. It makes more sense, you know, like that.
Yeah, no, him bodying Math would be the ultimate endorsement to a URL crowd, wouldn't it? Just sort of,
that's it. Yeah, that's it. That like, people have to understand, like, things like that do favors for the whole scene. The whole scene. If we get one person that represents all of us and he does well in a big match, this is why I'm indebted to people like Gemini and Tony, because they've already done things already to where now I can have an opportunity to show my stuff in the similar position, you know, like that. So. You know, like, Shocks would have only opened the doors wider for all of us if he had killed Math. Like, we know that he would have, but... You're so true. And, like, you know, at the time we're recording this episode, I should say, this episode is probably going to come out after 8th birthday, but this is kind of on the Thursday prior, and yeah, it is a massive shame. And if I think about it as well, that Math Shocks battle, that's probably the most important battle on the card, you know what I mean? Just in terms of, like, what it could have done, and it's a shame. Yeah, definitely, definitely. I think with Gemini and Tony, they're already kind of established to where one way or the other they're still going to have the status that they have. But Shocks beating Math and having a good performance against Math in this one here, it would have put him in a place where he's not going to turn back from that place now. You know, like that. He's gone to a different kind of higher level.
But getting into the Gizmo clash and, you know, getting into the league as well, like, I don't know my history that well in this regard, Rivers. Like, was this a really early Gift of the Gab event? Was Gab around a while and you were getting involved, or...?
I think when I battled Gizmo, Gab had probably existed for possibly a month, maybe 2 months. So it was like the early stages. I was probably like maybe the third or fourth kind of little event thing that they had, tryouts event. I was probably one of those, maybe the third or the fourth one in it. So it's very, very early in the history of Gab. Very, very early in the history of Gab.
Yeah, and like one of the things that I love about Gab as well, that sign in the background, it's like iconic, isn't it? That Gab sort of banner.
Yeah. That sign there, that sign and Snoop are like the two most constant things in Gab, to be honest.
Yeah. And this is the first time I've ever seen you with your glasses off.
Everyone says that to me. Everyone says, "Rah, like, when have you been on camera with your glasses?" And I say, "Rah, my first couple battles. I think my first 3 maybe. Yeah, my first 3 battles, I never wore shades. But like, just to clear it up, the reason I always wore shades is because after the battle with Gizmo, sorry, not Gizmo, after my 3rd battle, it got to a thing where we started to battle on stages, so they've got the big lights and all these type of things, and it's like every time before I had been in front of them lights, I had got like mad migraines and that. So I said, all right, cool, I'm gonna wear the shades to kind of make sure that I'm not affected by the lights while I'm up there. And because I felt like I had a good performance, I just thought, Raj, you know what, everything that worked, I'm keeping that. So I stuck with it. I stuck with the hoodie and I stuck with the shades and all of that type of stuff. So it's more like good luck omens rather than anything else, to be honest.
Yeah, no, completely, and it works for you as well. It doesn't kind of like, you know, it definitely adds to the performance. And how did kind of you reach out to the league, like moving from music into battling, like?
Basically, with Gift of the Gab, Snoop. And like a lot of people that are running it are already involved in music anyway. So what happened is me and Fuhrer, who's another artist, like basically part of my team, we made a mixtape, Salvi and Rivers Presents Lando Road. And in the making of the mixtape is like Snoop and Ace Boogie, who's another member of the staff of Gift of the Gab. And even Michael Million as well, who hosted our mixtape. They was having talks about possibly starting a league. And, you know, I'd always said, yeah, man, if you start, just throw me in there. But I said to them, don't throw me in there with anyone who's new. Give me someone who's been doing it. Because I had a lot of confidence in my ability to write. So I didn't want to, like, take somebody who was new and then just kill them and feel like, oh, yeah, basically I took advantage because he's not good at me. He's not as good as me at writing. So I said, well, give me someone who's been doing it. And then eventually, they gave me the call back and said, yeah, we got Gizmo for you. They showed me a picture of Gizmo, and I said, yeah, I got this. I got this in the fucking bag, you know. I was talking reckless, jumped in the ring and got myself slaughtered. So it was just like, cool, learning curves.
Yeah, no, it's good to hear you say that. I wasn't hoping you were going to say you body Gizmo, because he does do really well. And like, I was aware of Gizmo with the Shocks battle, and Shocks definitely bodies Gizmo. I remember he's like, my MO's coming after Giz or something like that. He had some fucking crazy shit in there. And Gizmo had the sort of hyperactive, and you definitely see him in this battle as well. He can just freestyle on the spot really well. Like he can just turn things around corners. And, you know, do you maybe regret getting someone who wasn't a tryout? Because he battled like Dots and Joker Star and people, like, he'd been around.
Do you know what it is? I'll say this now, you know. I say this to all of the new battlers coming up. The best thing that ever happened to me in battle rap is battling Gizmo first, innit? Battling Gizmo first is the thing that, like, I'm still afraid of that performance there. That's what I measure, how well I know my bars by, how tight my performance. I measure everything by my worst performance in it. So to me, I could have never had, you know, like I could have never had a better kind of, I don't know, something to teach me than taking that loss there, innit? Like, you learn more from a loss than you do from a win, innit? So that was, I'm indebted to that one there as well, innit? So I'm kind of glad, I'm lucky, to be honest, in my perception. I'm lucky that I got to get that out of the way so early. I got a rude awakening, you know, like that. It's like, all right, cool. I realized all the things that, remember now, I'm going in it thinking, okay, cool, I've got bars, I'm a writer. You know, like that. He's not better than me, he can't write better than me. I've gone in there and I've realized everything you need apart from bars if you want to do this, innit? And I may not have known that. So say, like, if they gave me someone who maybe wasn't as good as me, and I just walked through it and I gained some kind of false arrogance, thinking, yeah, I won my first battle and gone on to the next one confident, and then, you know, maybe even done well in that one, but not known to myself there's a lot more I can do in it. So I'm glad that in my first battle it went like that, to be honest, because it's given me the push to do well in every other battle that I've done well in, innit?
Yeah, and, you know, in your first... when I watched this, Rivers, you know, I watched this for the episode. I got to admit, I hadn't seen your trial. Obviously, watched a lot of your other battles and knew you as a writer, like you say. And when I watched the first, there just wasn't... I don't know, there wasn't really any, like, real bars there, to be honest with you. No. Like you know, and you seem to stumble quite a bit in the first as well, kind of, I think.
I'll give you my take on the battle. Please. Basically, I've gone in there, and... I remember now, I've gone in there, I didn't know how to prep
Yeah.
Really and truly. I didn't know how to structure rounds. I just wrote what I thought would be enough, and I didn't even know how to rehearse. So I've got in there. Everything I thought I knew. As soon as he got in the ring and he started spitting his shit, it's like I spat a line, I got a reaction for it. And I'm used to rapping and, you know, like just rapping to the beat. So when you get a reaction when you're rapping to a beat, you've got the beat kind of holding you in line. You're keeping on going with the beat or whatever. And when there's no beat, it's a cappella, someone cheers and it's like, oh, okay, they like that line. Oh, shit, I forgot where I am. And it's just like a second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. It feels like a lifetime when you're trying to remember what comes next up there. And then you start to panic and it's like, all right, cool. Now what do I say? Then maybe you freestyle something. It's like, it was just a mess. Bottom line is, it was just a mess, innit? I went up there and I wasn't ready. I didn't understand what I was getting myself into. This is why I say I'm grateful for it, because I could have never ever learned. There's nothing, like the thing about battling, I told this to everybody as well, you can get all the advice in the world about what it's going to be like, how you're going to feel, what kind of things work. You're not going to know what it is until you actually step in the ring. Until you actually step in there and you start to feel and you start to rap with the distractions in the background, and you start to rap and they start to cheer for the setup instead of the punch, and you know, like all these type of things that you have to learn and all this type of stuff. So it was like I just had to learn that straight away, innit? So it was a bit of an awakening. It was a bit of an awakening. I showed people back in my ends that, and they was like, wow, you got fucked up. I'm like, right, okay, cool. What, no words of support? Yeah, I'll give you some words of advice. Don't do that again. It's just like, all right, cool. I have to do it again now. I have to do it again. I have to better what I've done here. I can't, like, everything on YouTube's there forever, innit? So I got to do something better than this and leave a better kind of mark on my own name and that. So jump back in afterwards.
Yeah, and it wasn't necessarily that Gizmo even outwrote you. He had that flip ability, like I said. So, you know, it's like there's a moment when, you know, you're kind of interrupting each other, and you would call him fat and ugly in the second round, and then you start. He's like, why are you trying to touch me? I thought I was fat and ugly in the first round. And
man, you know, them type of things there. It's like these are the things where when you're in there, you realize, oh my days, I don't have this ability to me. I can't just come up with that. Just like it was just, like I say, it was just an awakening. It was just like, all right, cool, if you really want to do this, it's not a case of just having the arrogance and thinking, oh yeah, I'm good enough to be better than you. You're going to have to bring something else to the table. My energy weren't where his energy was. I wasn't really performing. I was too kind of focused on like, I was affected by the fact that people weren't reacting to certain things of mine, but were reacting to certain things of him. Like, I wasn't consistent. I never had no poise. All these type of things that were necessary for me to be a good battler. I had to just realize I never had that by losing in it. And I feel like if I did win, or if I had some type of fake victory in that battle, I don't think I'd be where I am today in this battle thing. I don't think I'd have the same ethics and the same kind of consistency about my work rate or none of that. So
yeah, and that's not to say that there aren't, you know, decent lines there. One of the lines that you said that just kind of caught me off guard and made me laugh was where you're talking about him being fat and ugly in the second, as we said. You don't know if he's having a baby or auditioning for Gavin and Stacey.
That was a freestyle still, like that. And there was another one that I said in there, something about, with that paedophile beard, you look like you came to meet a child here or some shit like that.
Yeah, I got that one as well.
When I watch it back and I see them, I'm thinking, fuck, you know, like, what was I what was I on? But you know, like the panic of the situation, and you don't know what to say, and it's like you're just thinking of whatever's literally one of the last ideas you had, and you just throw it out there, and it's like, all right, cool. It was a struggle. It was a struggle. I tell you that Gizmo battle was a fucking struggle.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, clearly you learned from it and kept going. And this battle was released in the July of 2013, and then Pork Piff comes in the August, and 5 Star Firms comes in the September. Did you really? I mean, you know, had the battle bug bit you, or?
Like I say, I felt as if, like, how it looks on cam and how it feels on the day, it always feels much worse in the battle on the day, innit? So how I felt, I needed to get back in there and be better than what I was in it. And when I battled Pork Piff, it was like literally 10 days after I battled Gizmo. So it was like, the battle hadn't even come out with Gizmo yet, but I just needed to do something else to feel as if when the Gizmo battle comes out, I still know I've got something better to come in it. So I jumped back in there with Pork Piff. And like my main thing last time was don't be distracted. So through the whole Pork Piff battle, I tried to just make sure that there was nothing at all that distracted me. So I spent the whole battle just looking down, trying to go through my bars and keep locked into it. And that was probably one of the worst mistakes I made, because on cam, you look nervous if you're just standing there, just looking down and all this. You look like, oh shit, Rivers is afraid of what Port Piff's saying to him, so he's looking at the floor. He don't even want to catch eye contact. My whole thing was, just don't forget your bars in it. Stay locked into it. Don't be distracted by the crowd. Don't be distracted by him. There was a lot of things in the battle that Port Piff was saying to me, oh yeah, come stand closer, and maybe he had something planned for that, but I wasn't about to get sucked in by that, so I just kept myself like just unattached to the whole situation. Then obviously 5-star, like before the 5-star battle, I knew I was battling Big J. After I battled Port Piff, they said, yeah, we want you to battle Big J. I was like, I didn't really. The reason I battled Big J is because I felt like I couldn't win. I was like, nah, you can't beat him because you've seen what he does on Don't Flop. There's no way in hell you can win. So now you have to battle him because you feel like you can't win. So I said, all right, cool. And then that's locked in. I start writing for Big J. Then they say, oh yeah, we want you to battle 5-star. So I've already started writing for Big J. So I built a level of confidence now where it's like, well, I'll take 5-star. So I just took him, and then the rest is history.
Yeah, and the Big J battle was, I think this was the first time I actually heard about you, just because it was kind of I heard about you because it was like, oh, Big J's going to Gab. This was a big battle, wasn't it? Especially because you hadn't been battling for like bar 4 months, and you got like a big Don't Flop guy.
I said he said shots, but he missed me. I grab a blade quickly, swing 360, and chop off this white man's head that he no remorse. Don't trap a savage and then revolving doors. I run through the alley, go get one of my Marjay Shinobi swords.
That's it. October, I think. Yeah. I started in, I think, April, May, and by October I was battling Big J. You know, like that. So it was all right. It was all right. Still, it was a good look, because at the same time, in them early stages of Gab, Gab was still establishing itself. So a lot of people never really saw the longevity in Gab. They looked at Gab like, this is some flash in the pan. It will be here today, but you know, there's other leagues that have popped up and they haven't lasted the test of time and they've gone and whatever in it. So let's not. It's almost a thing where it wasn't cool to even mention Gab in that time there. Still, it wasn't really even cool to mention Gab. It was more a thing where it's like, we don't have to mention you because we're bigger than you and we're doing a lot. And this was more from the Don't Flop fans. The battlers always was kind of supportive, but it was more like the majority of the fans, they kind of didn't really respect what Gab was bringing to the table. They tried to just play it off as, it's just like, it's almost like a URL parody league or some shit like that. So it was kind of like, for Big J to come over, it was like it broke the stigma. It's like, wow, Big J will go over. Then it made other people think, well, if Big J will go over, God forbid, I look like I won't go somewhere that Big J will go and all this type of stuff. So it kind of opened it up a little bit more, innit? But yeah, Big J came, and the thing about Big J is that he came and he was a completely different Big J. He wasn't the usual Big J that we've seen on Don't Flop. He was a Big J that was trying to show you that he had an ability of rapping. He had skills. He could write. Like that. And for maybe that battle and a few battles afterward, he continued that on, and then it was almost like people never really appreciated him for having the skill. They more appreciate him for having jokes and shit like that. So he kind of just reverted back to his old style. But yeah, Big J came, and Big J, he put on a performance still. Yeah. But the thing about Big J, it's mad. Like, it wasn't really fair on Big J because his rounds was much more shorter than mine. He knew it was unlimited, but he only bought 90-second rounds, and it's like, I wasn't about to play around with him at all. So I literally bought a lot of stuff to the table. So it kind of was a bit of a mismatch and a bit unfair on his behalf, because it's like, you can't really match up with some. If you're spitting 90-second rounds and someone's going like 3 minutes and then an unlimited round, it's not going to be easy for you, innit? So
and like, what sort of format do you feel most comfortable in? Is it the longer rounds or?
Do you know what it is? I like shorter rounds because you can get to the point and get your shit off and rare, and I don't like long ass build-ups. But then at the same time, there are certain battlers where you see, like, for two battlers that are writers, I like to see longer round times. When you got two writers, it's like, yeah, style out a little bit, show us what you can do, bring some new stuff to the table, and it don't feel like you're under no pressure to get your shit off. Like, get your shit off, man. So it depends who I'm battling, really and truly. If I'm battling someone who's a writer, then I like longer time. If I'm battling someone who maybe not so much of a writer, maybe a performer, or maybe they just have something about them, then I prefer like maybe shorter times or whatever in it, just so that we can just keep it moving, get it going and whatever. And more time, even if it's set for 90 seconds, it always lasts a bit longer than that anyway, to be honest. So
yeah.
You know?
And as you begin your first, you do something that people all over battle rap in leagues all over the world, if they're facing someone who, you know, is slightly overweight. I mean, shout out to Big J, he's lost loads of weight recently, so you know, he's looking healthy, man. But Rivers, everyone does the kind of the multis of like food they eat, you know, crisps and steaks, and you know, you got to do it, haven't you?
Yeah. And do you know what it is though as well? And I'm so upset that I even did that, because later down I watched the battle Impact versus Big J, and Impact's done exactly the same thing. In almost the exact same. He's almost said the same words that I said in it. But this is what I'm saying. When you come into battle rap and you're new and you haven't seen all the battles, sometimes you get an idea that you think is crazy. Really and truly, it's something that someone else has already done in it. And like, so for all the fans watching, they'll look and be like, oh, why is he biting such and such's bar? But it's just a thing where you haven't even seen that this person has said that to this guy. You know, like that.
Yeah.
So it's a bit different still. But maybe that makes me guilty of not doing enough research at the time, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pointing it out more because I'm interested, just because it comes up so frequently, rather than calling you out for like, you know, plagiarism or anything. But I mean, you say you'd watched Kruger and Illusion Z, so you'd watched a few of the deep cuts. Like, how well versed were you in battle rap? Just watching it, did you know a lot, or?
Yeah, I knew a lot, but it was like Big J was the type of person where I didn't watch. Like, I watch a lot of battling, but there's certain people I watch all their battles. Then there's certain people where I'll only watch their battles depending who they're battling. And Big J kind of fell into that category where I wouldn't watch all his battles. I watched some of the battles of him and Lefty. I watched certain of his single battles or whatever in it, but not all of them, because Big J is a guy as well. He battles a lot. Yeah, he's got a lot of battles, so you can watch 10 Big J battles and do a lot of research on him, and there's still probably like 50 more for you to watch, you know, like that. And if you happen to say something that ain't on one of the other 50 more, then it comes across like, hold on a second, he's saying what Johnny Blue Blood said against him, or whoever it was that week. So it was just one of those one where it's like, I just didn't watch all of his battles in it, but I had seen a lot of Big J. I was aware of who he was in it. That's not gangster blood. As soon as they said Big J, that popped into my head straight away. I knew who he was and stuff in it. So
you ask, why does he look white and broke? Where's your inheritance? Which is pretty funny.
Yeah, ain't your granddad's and all of that. It's hard hitting stuff, man. Hard hitting stuff. But I'll be real with you. In the earlier stages of battle rap, my perception of everything was completely different. So it was almost like it was more about being mean than being skillful in the earlier stages, innit? So there was a lot of things that I've said in my earlier battles. I know we're going to get to certain battles and talk about it, but there's a lot of things that I said where having a chance to do it now, I probably wouldn't even say it the same way. I feel like I can make more of an impact with skill. And I think that's due to me going over to Don't Flop and expanding a little bit and seeing more what kind of things relate to a wider range of people. But there's a lot of things I said in my earlier battles where it's like, if I had battled them today, I probably wouldn't even have needed to say that, but it felt necessary at the time because I still was trying to learn the game and understand what things was acceptable, what things was cool, what things worked, what things had the best impact, what was the most creative way of putting things. So a lot of things you would have heard me say in some of my earlier battles that you probably wouldn't hear me say them against J-Red and Quack. And sometimes I feel like when you've said certain things, you don't really need to say it again. It's like if you want to see that Rivers, you can watch that battle.
Right.
You know, like that. I don't need to be that Rivers in another battle. You can go to that battle there and find that Rivers. And if you want to enjoy that, enjoy it, man. Yeah. If you don't like it, then watch my new stuff.
Yeah, no, this is, I mean, really good battle. I really, really enjoy this battle. I think the crowd are fantastic as well. You say, I'll put a rack up to bet this fat cunt came strapped up with a packed lunch. Delivery, that is fantastic. And you talk about going to his mom's caravan, banging beat like a producer's house, open the door and it was funky, like it was producing house.
Yeah. See, those are like, when I think of the early stage, my most prized memories are the moments when I came up with certain ideas. You know, like that. So a lot of time it's easy for me to be on stage just relaxed delivering it because I've already gone through the excitement of how I feel about the bar and what I possibly think is gonna have. And even sometimes when I've been rehearsing it, and I may have shown someone in my rehearsal, and they've shown me how they've reacted to it, and I've got to enjoy that.
Yeah.
You know, so that's probably that's one of my favorite ones of that kind of early stages of my career.
And that always happens, doesn't it? Bars you think are gonna explode never do, and the ones you don't do.
Yeah, definitely. It's like I can't even predict it now. So I'm just in a mind state where it's like nothing's gonna work, nothing's gonna fucking work. You know, like that. It's like I scrap a lot. I'll be writing, I scrap a lot of stuff in it. I throw away a lot of stuff in it. Like more time when I battle people, I write like maybe 6-7 rounds for them, then condense the 6 and 7 rounds into 3 rounds.
Shit.
You know, like that, and then half the time I may write something else later down. I get bored easily in it, so if I get a lot of time, I really try to prepare properly and make sure that everything's just to my liking, innit?
And
which is what I wasn't doing in the earlier stages, which is why everything's kind of changed now, innit? Now I get more time to kind of put things together, but back then it was more of a rush to just get into the next battle.
Yeah, there's definitely a sense of the craftsman in the later battles, but that is just the nature of the thing. You just get more honed at your craft, and Jay does what most of your opponents' Rivers do, and I personally think Tony D does it best. We'll get onto that battle later. You've got a name flip a name like Rivers, haven't you? It's kind of a gift, really, and like, I mean, where did the name come from, first of all?
Okay. Now, this name is kind of like the evolution of a bunch of names, in it. A bunch of names. You're getting exclusive here because no one has ever heard this story. Alright, cool. And when I say these things now, a lot of ears are going to prick up and say, okay, so that's who you are. Basically, when I started first making music, like where I'm from, my name is Lowdown, innit? LD, Lowdown, whatever, innit? And it became like, somewhere along the line, it became Lowdown Shiesty.
Right.
Okay, cool. Then somewhere, it became Shiloh. You know, like the mix of Shiesty, Lowdown, Shiloh. Okay, cool. Then somewhere along the line, it became Shiloh Shakespeare. Yeah?
Right.
So with Shiloh Shakespeare. Then somewhere else along the line, it became Shakespeare the River. Now you see where we're going, innit? But then further down, it just became the River. Then further down again, it just became Rivers. So it's just like one name that just evolved into just everything else, and now it's just Rivers, innit? That's basically what it is.
Interesting, man, and it's a fucking great name, I have to say. Like, it's just such a simple, cool name.
Yeah,
like
everyone, you know, like a lot of people say to me, like the name like Rivers, it's like you don't get. Like when you hear the name Rivers, it doesn't give you a perception of something straight away. It gives you, it's more like, what is Rivers? It's more the question rather than the idea of what you think is going to be in it, which is cool with me still.
And, you know, as we're saying, Jay with the flips, put me in front of Rivers to stop his flow.
River dance.
Yeah, top half strapped up, the bottom half moving. That's how you make River dance,
Yeah.
Which is pretty good.
He had a few.
And
he was the first one to kind of hit me up with the name flips out of all the battles, innit? So that was kind of like, okay, cool. It's like sometimes when you battle, these are the things you learn during the battle. It's like, okay, yeah, I should have had more J flips. Really and truly, he did well with the Rivers flip. It's like, I don't know that until in the battle. Then afterward, I can just, my next opponent, I can say, all right, cool, I'm gonna have a few things to say.
Well, I mean, against...
But yeah, big...
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, bro.
No, I was just going to say, against J Red, you know, name flip central there.
Oh, yeah. I had a few in there. But do you know what it is about J Red as well? It's like, he's another person where, see, this is where you learn from your mistakes. He's another person where I don't watch all his battles. So I've got to the point now where if there's anything that I think is an obvious kind of approach, then I expect someone to already have taken it. So there was a lot of things that I wanted to say to J-Red that I never put in because it's like, I'm sure someone said this already. Regardless, innit? I just got to be real. If it's the first idea that comes to my head, it's going to be the first idea that comes to someone else's head, innit?
Yeah.
I really got to dig deep to find a new creative way of doing name flips.
And, you know, it's interesting, Jay points something out that the camera doesn't capture, but it's just quite a funny line. He says that you're gayer than the butterflies on that curtain. Were there butterflies, okay. Rivers? Basically,
in where we was performing, and he freestyled that. And when we was performing, there was like, I think they had like maybe a birthday party there the week before, and the decorations were still on the curtain, innit? And there was like a butterfly on the curtain. And it did look very, very fucking gay. So when he said that, I didn't even want to look over there and make the camera know that there's something over there to look at, to whatever in it. But a lot, it hit in the room, and a lot of people turned and looked to the right and saw the gay butterflies on the curtain and said, "Oh shit, he's actually freestyling." And you know, you get extra points when you're bringing real time things into the battle. So you know, that was points for Big J with that one there still.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you know, in your second, loads of great lines there. I loved it, like not a throwaway, but just like you say, bail money like Real Madrid. Like,
yeah.
That's just like, that's one of those ones that you're like, why haven't I thought of that? Like, that's just a fucking killer one, that is. And then, I mean, someone reacts in the crowd by going like, "Eee!" There's like a really high pitched E sound, and everyone gets really hyped off it.
Yeah. That's the thing about Gift of the Gab. Gift of the Gab, a lot of energy in the audience, because you gotta understand, like, a lot of the people in the audience at Gift of the Gab, like South London is very big, as you know, but there's a lot of artists in South London, in it. So there's a lot of artists in the crowd. So they look for a certain kind of excitement with battles, really and truly. They've come there to enjoy the show, basically, innit? So this is why they take to certain performances. And I think, they enjoyed that. They just saw a crazy battle between Moolah Mitch and Fuhrer, and then it was me versus Big J. So the energy was already up from the battle before. So it was just kind of eating out of me and Big J's hands, basically, by the time we got up there.
So you feel that Gift of the Gab's kind of dipping into a whole different kind of reservoir of battle fans then?
Do you know what? I used to, but now I feel like it's just a mix of both, innit? Because some of the most supportive fans that we have now are people that they go to all the stuff that happen in UK. They go to the King of the Ronalds, they go to Don't Flop, they probably will go Clash Money if they're in the area or whatever, innit? So to me, it's just a case of opening the door to new people to merge them with the already existing fan base, basically. You know, like that. Like, there's certain people that have no idea what Gift of the Gab is, but would enjoy it if they did know, should I say. So it's just a case of opening the eyes of those people there, showing them there's a world here that you can be involved with, and just getting them to come over.
Yeah, totally, man. And it's quite you've got a Facebook group, haven't you? And like, you can only be invited through the group, is that right, to events and stuff, or?
No, basically, because the events recently have been a lot more smaller.
Yeah.
It's been a thing where the promotion hasn't been too big, because obviously I don't think they want to fill more or get more people to come than can actually fit into the venue, innit? Because basically it's right this year, let's say this year, towards the end of last year towards this year, has basically been like Gab trying to rebuild its roster. And kind of energize it, bring new blood through and stuff like that. So most of the shows that have happened this year have been like the newer artists kind of squaring off against each other and getting their opportunities to kind of build up and all of this type of stuff. So none of the kind of, let's say, the premier names have really battled that much this year, while the others have been kind of developing, so to speak. So I think that's why the events have been much smaller and the promotion hasn't been as wide, because it's just more been about development rather than kind of turning over a profit on the tickets and all this other stuff. But there will be some new things popping off in 2017 where it's like everything's merging back together. So like all the people that are more known for being Gift of the Gab, all the names from the starting stages, along with the newer people that have come in and have built themselves up, be able to mix up a little bit more in it. So there'll be a bit more better promotion coming into 2017. But it's just that, you know how it is with battling, you don't want to, you want people to be ready when you put them in front of that crowd. You don't want to put them in front of the crowd for them to not be ready. We've made that mistake a few times, putting people in front of audiences and they're not ready for it. And it's been kind of detrimental to how the outcome of the show is. So it's better that people get the chance to develop and train, just like we got the chance, to be honest.
And like, are you involved, you know, in any way in the actual movement of the league, the direction, or are you just a battler, or?
I'm a battler, but obviously I'm close to all the members of management, you know, like that. And my opinion is one that they respect greatly. You know, like that. I share ideas with them all the time. Not everything gets carried out.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely. I can't say I'm part of the management team, but I'm definitely like a senior member of Gift of the Gab, to where I be like most of the young battlers coming in, and that I always try to give them advice, and you know, like I've kind of been through it in it, so there's a lot of things that they may not be ready for inside and outside of the ring that I can just warn them about and just give them a heads up, so that they know to themselves, all right, cool, I'll look out for that, or maybe I won't react this way, or maybe I'll do things in a different type of manner. Yeah, I have an influence, but I don't have an official role as if to say I'm a manager or some shit.
Sure. And before we move on to Dialect, is there anyone coming up in Gab, like the younger guys, that you'd recommend people check out?
You have to have checked out Surfer Kid. Surfer Kid. Yeah, you gotta check out Surfer Kid. I like Salas as well. iKid. You know, you got other people there that have been there for a while, but they're only kind of now just getting into their groove. So like Straps in his last battle with P Busy Low, he kind of more showed the type of direction that we want from him. You know, like he's doing well. Caps is doing a lot better these days. Scoop as well. Scoop just had a crazy battle on Don't Flop. And shut it down. Like, there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent.
Names.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talent building up. But it's just a thing where, you know, we just need to get more. Just need to get more of the right events and the right shows and the right battles, rather than just any battle, any show, any event.
Yeah.
You know, like that. It's got to make sense, as they say. I know that's the most overused fucking phrase in battle rap. It's got to make sense. Yeah.
So we, you know, move from Big J, you battle Skeptical, and then go into Dialect.
Typical Dialect. Average verse. You think he's sick? I'm retarded, but my man them's worse. Kick open the door, stand and burst, and shell up everyone in the front row of your dad's family church. On January 1st. Like, we know about manners with hammers. Man walking like, oh, good morning, Dad, and then bang out and have you morning, Dad.
This was another huge matchup for you. Like, how did this one come about?
I'm still trying to figure out, to be honest, Tom. I'm still trying to figure it out, because you think about it like, do you know what? I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you exactly how it came about. You never mentioned that I battled Flex Explicit, obviously.
Right, yeah.
Flex Explicit had a little collective called High Rise, which Dialect was part of. Dialect, Tally, and then later Shocks part of it as well. Obviously, he's got MG and Biggs and a few people. Savage as well was part of it. And because when I battled Flex Explicit, I think because he liked the vibe of Gift of the Gab. He respected it. He liked the battle that me and him had. You know, he would phone me afterward and holler at me and say, "Yo, like, I'm just watching a battle, bro." Like, he's like, "Yeah, killer. I just watched the battle, killer." It's like, you was sick, killer. I like it, killer. You know, like, I could tell that he really enjoyed, like, not only what he did and what he brought to the table, but what I brought to the table. And he liked that. So it's like he kind of built a kind of bond, kind of relationship with Gab. And then obviously when Norbs has come. Yeah. Norbs come over, and I think with him having the opportunity to get people from his team on the card, he knew that if he was going to give Dialect anyone in Gift of the Gab, it would have had to have been Rivers, because Rivers was probably the one that was doing the most things or making the most progress at the time. So I think that's really what it was. I think if it was anybody else in my position, they would have got Dialect. So it wasn't nothing special. It's just that I was probably the most ready to take on someone of his caliber, you know, like that.
And did you get to like hang with Norbs? Like, that's mad that he was there.
Yeah. We got to hang out with Norbs. Got to have some deep conversations with Norbs. So he showed us certain things about the game and certain things about certain lessons that he showed, man, that I took on board. Yeah. From that day, and just applied it and just continued to just move forward with that in it. But yeah, we got to meet him and stuff. He showed us a few exclusive battles before Smack battles before they actually came out on Smack that he had on his iPads. So yeah, it was.
What did he show you?
He showed me Joe Nye versus Gutter before it came out.
He showed you that? That's mad, though, because I remember everyone was waiting for that to drop for like months.
Yeah, for ages. He had it on his iPad. He showed us that, and he was just like, "Fucking hell, that was mad, mad."
Yeah, it's just mad that, you know, the guy that you see in the back of all the Summer Madnesses and Gnomes is fucking in the back of Gab. It's crazy. It's so cool.
Yeah, that was to be honest. Like Snoop, who runs basically Gift of the Gab, he's always had a relationship with all of the battlers that come over to the country, like Arsenal, Math, you know, like Charlie Clips and DNA. So he's always had a relationship with them. So like linking up with Norbs it just made more sense to him, because like I've already linked up with both or most of the top tier guys over there. Let me talk to Norbs. Obviously, when Norbs talks to them and says, yeah, there's this guy from South London. He's, oh yeah, that's Snoop, man. Don't worry, man. That's my people. Like Snoop feels a bit more comfortable, and then not Snoop. Sorry, Norbs feels more comfortable and is kind of around us. And it's like, do you want to, you know, go stay in a hotel? Nah, I want to stay around you guys, man. You lot are the fam kind of things. Cool. You just, you know, like that. So we were just looking after Norbs, and just whatever he needed done, he was getting it done. Ace Boogie was looking after him, and you know, he just felt comfortable around us. He gave us all that advice. He told us from early the type of things that we need to get done if we want to put our like Gab in the right light, you know, like that. So we just had to change a few things up, find some people, and all this type of stuff. And he said the first time he saw Shocks, this kid's gonna be a problem. This kid's gonna be the best in the country, dude. He better than Tony D. He said that from when he saw Shocks, that was Shocks' second ever battle ever. So when Norbs is saying, like he can see someone with talent, and you know, like he knows it. Like people gotta listen to him. Like he understands. It doesn't take much. Like I know anyone in their right mind can see Shocks and be like, yeah, he's got something. But not everybody likes Shocks' style. So there's certain people that say, oh, I don't like Shocks' style. I don't like it. Why does he have to talk like that? But for people that don't have some type of problem with his style, they recognize his levels in it. And Norbs was one of them people where he wasn't kind of tainted by the idea that this type of person can't say this and this type of person can't say that. He's just looking at it on what he saw in the ring, on how the bars dropped and what they delivered, what he said. He said, yep, he's got something, he's got potential. He looked at me and Shocks and said, them, like Rivers and him, they got the most potential I've seen since I've been over here. And that was it.
Yeah, he's the talent scout for the biggest league in the world. Like, of course he knows what he's looking for, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Just
definitely.
fucking mad. And it's mad you say as well that it was Shocks' second battle, because I think it was uploaded quite a few months after Cracker. But I remember Shocks said on this show that it was his second battle as well, which is even crazier. Like, he hadn't even been in front of a big stage or anything. Like, it was just
yeah.
I mean, you battling Shocks on Gab, would that ever happen? Or
I tell you this, yeah. It has to happen. It has to happen. Like I say this behind the scenes to people, innit? But I say and I'll say it now, exclusive for your show. Shocks, Tally, Gemini. Obviously, Shotty Horror will never battle me, but maybe for the right price he will. Yeah. Shotty Horror. I don't know if you know about Mackenzie.
Of course, I've had him on the show. Yeah, he's amazing.
Cool. Yeah, Mackenzie as well. I think those 5 names there, and I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody. I know, and if I remember them, I'll throw them out. Right. Those 5 names there. I know, who am I forgetting? Gemini, Shocks. There's got to be someone else. Right. It can't just be Gemini, Shocks, and Tally.
And not Tony Solo.
Oh yeah, Surfer as well.
Surfer, yeah.
Surfer Kid as well. Throw him in there. But you know, like them 6 names, those are the names of where I think my best challenges in terms of UK versus UK are going to come from in 2017, innit? So those are the people that, you know, like, I don't mind if I get booked, you know, like, my fee gets paid and I get booked to battle somebody. Most of the time, I'm going to be down to do it because I like the challenge, innit? But you see, like, for them people there, I feel like that will add a little something extra to what I'll bring to the table, because I know that I'm going up against, like, 6 of the best in the country, innit? Like, these balls matter.
And
like that. So I know, those are the names.
Yeah, and, like, you know, I know all of them don't have to, but would you be okay with some of them happening on Don't Flop?
Yeah. I'm not discriminatory to wherever it happens. I do believe though, like, it's like different leagues mean that I can take different approaches. I'm trying to become the type of battler where anywhere I go, I can have a similar strategy. But at this point now, it's like if I battle someone on say like if me and Shocks battle on Don't Flop, I feel like I could say everything I would say to him on Gab and more. You get what I'm trying to say? So I'd be stupid not to say more than just what I would say to him on Gab. But if I battle him on Gab, what I could say to him on Gab will have more impact than what it would at Don't Flop. So it's just like strategizing and making sure that I take the right choice for the right opponent. But I don't mind. Like that's what I enjoy. Like my whole thing of the game is I enjoy the strategy. I enjoy creating. I enjoy coming up with material. I enjoy putting the artillery together and knowing, all right, cool, is that going to work? No, all right, cool, let me change it. That's the bit I enjoy. I feel kind of like it's a bit of a sadness when it gets to the point where I've learned all my rounds and it's time to go to the battle. It's almost like, all right, cool, the creative stage is over, innit? And I don't get to feel the excitement of creating until the next battle. So it's a bit of a somber mood, but I still like going in there and performing and you know, executing whatever I've planned.
Right. I guess many battlers feel the same way, but I've never actually heard them say it. So you're like, you enjoy the writing more than the performing? Or I guess it's a different thing, isn't it?
No, it's not that I don't. Yeah. I love the performance side. I love, like, because it's like a presentation, innit? So I love that, but at the same time, I enjoy writing so much that I can never feel like I've done enough in it. I'll finish writing and it's just like, it's almost like I don't even want to try and think of no other ideas, because if they're good by any way, shape or form, I'll be the perfectionist that's trying to fit them in the round somewhere. Like, all right, cool, where can I put this? Where can I put this? What can I take out? And it's just like that can become an addiction in itself, innit? So that's the bit that's hard for me, innit? Breaking out. Once I get into my creative mode, breaking out of that and getting into the kind of rehearsal mode, that's hard. And
what's the schedule like? Do you like to have like a week of rehearsing before, or?
Like I say, I judge things by the early stage of my career, innit? And at the early stage, when I battled Gizmo, the battle I had after that was 10 days after it. So I knew to myself, in 10 days, I can learn 2.5 rounds and have it all locked in and go up there and not choke in 10 days. So I say to myself, all right, cool, get yourself at least 3 weeks and you can have everything done. You can have everything written, rehearsed, locked in, and you're ready to go. Great performance. So that's my kind of thing there. 2 to 3 weeks and we're good to go in it. But I can do 10 days at a push. I've done it, and it's a thing where I'm cool if that needs to be done.
And, you know, we haven't really spoke about the Dialect battle, but it is great. Like, you know, it really, really good from both of you. It's awesome to see Dialect on Gab as well. And he's got like high rise under his name in the thumbnail and stuff. So they kind of spell it out that way, you know. Some good stuff. Shoot your whole family when they're sitting on the couch, Gogglebox.
Yeah. That was my favourite bar. The crowd didn't really take to it too well, but I liked that bar still.
Yeah. Again, fucking mad to see Norbs just there. Like, occasionally you don't see him because someone's in his way and you're like, fucking hell, it's Norbs. Like, you know, it just sort of comes out. And lots of stuff about Dialect's daughter in your first. I'll be real. Let me show you the narrative of the whole situation now. Leading up into that event, it started to get promoted as if it was Gifted the Gab versus High Rise. You know, like that. And because it was Gifted the Gab versus High Rise, then all of the kind of talk and the conjecture became kind of hood-based, where it was just like, all right, fuck them guys, they ain't come to my ends and rare, boom, boom, boom. And it kind of flavored the mood of everyone going into the battles. Like, if you look at the battles that happened on that event, and you see what the Gab guys were saying, and then you see what the other guys were saying, you'll realize, right, all the Gab guys are going a bit over the top. It's because we knew how important it was, like, and we was looking at it like, all right, cool, these dons are coming from some next ends to our ends and that. So one thing we have to make sure they understand is we can talk to them however we want to talk to them. They have to match that. Yeah. And if they're not matching that, then it speaks volumes, innit? Dialect taught me a lesson in that battle still. He taught me a lesson. He showed me, without versatility, you're wasting your time in this game. You are wasting your time with no versatility. You can come up there and be the hardest guy in the fucking world. But if a guy comes, like, there's no point going in there being the hardest guy in the world to someone that is versatile enough to make the crowd laugh, make the crowd enjoy something, make them laugh at your expense. You know, like that, flip it up to a grime flow. You know, like that. So I learned from that battle, I learned to myself, okay, cool. If I ever battle someone in a situation where
maybe they have the crowd behind them, because Dialect kind of had the crowd behind him. It was a Gab event, but it was more kind of a don't flop crowd base within Gab. That was the first time I ever seen that, like that. So he kind of had the crowd anyway, but to me it was like, cool. If I had more different things, like my third round in that battle, I felt like that was the round that was my best round.
Yeah.
Because I was a bit more factual, a bit more details, things more people can relate to, a bit more funny, a bit more lyrical. The other rounds I felt like I was just it was just bravado, innit? It was just like me walking around with my chest up saying I'm badder than you. Mm-hmm. And you get to a stage in battle rap, but that's not enough no more. That's not enough. It's not enough to just be saying, I'm badder than you, like that. You got to show him you're lyrically better than him. If you're not showing him that, you're in the wrong game. This is battle rap, emphasis on the rap.
Yep.
So I feel like I learned a valuable lesson battling Dialect, and man, it's painful. I'd be real, I don't even watch that battle. I don't even watch that battle. I really don't.
Yeah, it's interesting. You're talking about versatility. In his second, Dialect says kind of knowingly to the crowd, "Time for the grime round." Like, you know, he kind of knows. I mean, it is great. Right now, I'm sunning him. That's why Rivers looks dried out. It's quite nice. He has a great multi at the end of his second. He rhymes origami with horrid garms. G.
Yeah.
It's just like,
that was a bit reachy, Dialect. Yeah. I'm sorry, bro.
Slightly.
Fold them up like origami. Those are some horrid garms, G. It's like, fam, I just bought this morning, fam. What are you talking about?
And your third is really good. There are some funny angles. One of the angles that you had that I thought was really good was like, you talk of basically when he battled Daylight and sort of him opening the closet door for Daylight and kind of, and it's kind of true if you think about after the Dialect battle was when Daylight kind of went mental.
Exactly. And it's like, all right, cool, I'm watching his battles. I'm thinking, no one's picked up on this. No one ain't picked up on the fact that it starts with Dialect. To get what I'm trying to say. People always say, you got naked in the battle, Daylight, but no one ever says to Dialect, you're the reason he got naked, and you stood up there and enjoyed it. So I felt like if I can get that off, cool, innit? So, and I got it off still. Sometimes I think to myself, maybe I should have made that my first round. But then I feel like if I did, they might have been more receptive to the other stuff, but at the same time, I feel like it was more, I don't know, it had more colour to it than the other rounds, the first and the second. So I just feel like if I went first with that, the second and the third would have come off kind of a bit more dead than the first, innit? So it's probably better I did it that way.
And, closing out, kind of teasing out someone you say you wanted to battle earlier, you talk about going into high rise, slapping Tally.
Yeah.
Building up for that. You and Tally, I mean, what the fuck? That would be so good, like an early Don't Flop 2017 event or something.
Yeah, I've actually spoken to Tally and everything, and he already knows, like, a lot of, like, Tally and Gemini especially, they both know, like, we have to bump heads eventually at some point, like that, where all three of us are competitors, to where we want to fight, we want to compete with each other and see who's better and all this type of stuff. There's not, like, a lot of people in battling are trying to protect their resume, so to speak. But I feel like Tally and Gemini, they're like me, they're the risk takers. They want the hard challenges. They want to battle the guy that they feel like maybe I can't win. If I can't win, then it makes more sense. Now I have to battle this guy and do the impossible. So that's kind of why I respect them a little extra still.
And talking of doing the impossible, Rivers, I mean, you versus Quack, what a sort of left-turn battle. Like, did you just laugh to yourself when you were offered this, or?
These weak rappers are a plague around there trying to swing out with kick bars. This is your death spelling words. That's witchcraft. I told them. This boy is in trouble. I come to cook this shoot. That's a cauldron. Boil and bubble. Eye of snake with a sheep's tongue. You got a voice that stumbles. Be yourself or you'll lose, going over the top like a royal rumble.
I'll be real. Before I was offered Quack, I was offered. I don't know if you've ever heard of Hyphen.
You know what? I know him quite well. Ardash. I actually know him personally. He's a friend of mine. Yeah, that's weird. I didn't know you went to battle.
Yeah, I was offered Hyphen first of all in it, but what it was is that they was planning to do like a battle in a park, and I didn't really, like I just weren't really feeling the whole outside in the park thing. It just felt like.
Sorry, Rivers, what's mad is when I met Hyphen at the park event, I remember his opponent hadn't turned up. I didn't realise that was you.
That was me. But you know what it was? It wasn't that I hadn't turned up. It was that I had said that I didn't want to do it. So I think he might have had another opponent that never turned up. Right. Because I already said that.
Okay. Yeah, probably was, yeah.
But I was meant to battle Hyphen in the park, and Fuhrer was meant to battle Amity. Amity comes to Gab now, innit? But them times there, he was kind of just doing the whole don't flop extra circuit, and he was trying to make our way in. And as I basically said, nah, I didn't want to do it because it was in a park, and it was just, I don't know. I wanted it to be a part of like an event or something at least, you know what I'm saying? So, cool. And then they came back with Quack, and it was just a thing where I hadn't battled in a while since Dialect. I'd still been writing, but I hadn't battled. So, like when you write and you're not writing for a battle, it's different than when you actually say, yes, I'll take this opponent. And then obviously these are the times when Bamalam was working heavily with Don't Flop. And he offered Fuhrer a battle first. Offered Fuhrer a battle with Money Man. I said, oh, Money Man. And I'd said to when I first spoke to I said to him, look, just give me all like the black brothers in your league who think that they're bad. Just give me all of them, and I'll just wipe them all out for you, innit? And then I'll just move on to whoever else, innit? And he's like, I said, give me Locksmyth. He's like, oh, you're going to have to do a couple battles to battle Locksmyth. Yeah. I was like, Locksmyth? I was like, all right, cool. Do you know what it is? I respect your hierarchy, innit? I'm not from Don't Flop. I'm from Gift of the Gab. I respect your hierarchy. So the way is, I'll take out whoever you want me to take out first, and then we'll move on to whoever's next, innit? And I just accepted Quack because I was thinking, right, if it's a thing where I have to do a tryout in order to proceed, I'm not going to cry about it. I'm just going to kill whoever they give me and just move on. Like everyone said, nah, don't battle Quack. Why are you battling him for? You just battled Dialect. Now you're going to make it look like you lost to Dialect. So I'm saying to them, I feel like I did fucking lose to Dialect. What are you talking about? I'm going to make it look like I lost. I don't care what people think. I personally feel as if I could have did a lot better against Dialect. A lot of people come up to me and say, oh yeah, you beat Dialect because he did a grand round, and in his third round, he basically says what everyone always says to you and that. So we can't give it to him. I'm saying to them, yeah, but what did I bring to the table to him? I didn't say nothing interesting apart from my third round. So I can't just win because you didn't like his shit. You know what I'm trying to say? That's not how it works. So I felt like this was kind of me showing what I had learned from my previous battles, innit? Everything I'd learned on Gab, putting it into practice on a different league, innit? Plus, we already had that kind of stigma attached to us where it's like people didn't really want to mess with Gab too tough because they kind of just felt like gun bar, think you're bad, gun bar, bravado, gun bar. So it was like, I get it. I understand why people didn't really take to what we was doing because, Don't Flop has evolved way beyond just going in the ring and saying something reckless. They've had them days. They had them days back in the day. Yep. They've grown past that. And now we're a new league that's come along and we've got the old kind of characteristics that they used to have. I get it. I understand why they'll look at us and say, oh, yeah, we used to do that in 2012 or whatever, which is cool, but it's kind of dismissive where you're not really giving us a chance. You're not recognizing that we're young in the game. Maybe you could put your arm around us and say, look, do things this way, or look, this works better, but it just felt more dismissive in it. So to go over there and battle Quack, it was like, okay, cool. Here's my opportunity to show them that someone from Gab can come over here and entertain you and be good. Probably be the best performance of the day. Like that, like break the stigma. We don't have to look at people from Gab like they'll never be good enough. Oh yeah, he's good, but he's from Gab, so how good could he really be? Nah, now you have to look at us as, okay, they're serious contenders. They can actually be from there and come over here and be a problem. So that was kind of what the plan was, and I felt like I carried it out.
Yeah, you did, man. I was there, actually, and I think this was maybe the battle of the day, other than... I mean, the headliners were all right. There was Jay Short Yunnan, Soweto Zen. They were kind of more freestyle-y sort of battles. But I think in terms of a written format, this was brilliant. You know, it definitely popped off. A great style clash that you both rose to. And Quack, you know, a little inconsistent now. But this is a really good battle from him, I have to say. He's funny in this.
Yeah. No, definitely. And I think... And I've said this as well. I've said... I want to see Quack back on Don't Flop. Mm-hmm. I want to see Quack get the opportunity. I feel like there's a lot of people on Don't Flop he could have good matches with, you know, like that. And I think, I don't know, like I just feel like he didn't do badly against me to where it's like he doesn't deserve another shot. But I think maybe because of the whole, I forget what his league's called, Poetic Warfare, whatever.
Warfare,
yeah. I think maybe because he was part of that. I've seen his name on a card recently, actually. I'm not sure what league it is. I think it's a new league popping up. But I think because he was part of that, it kind of took him away from getting opportunities elsewhere and that. But I want to see Quack come to Don't Flop and do a madness. Like, literally, since he's battled me, I've been keeping my eye on him, and I've seen he's added, like, Quack on the low. Quack is a writer on the low, to be honest. But because he doesn't have... Because he's very kind of... self-deprecating, he comes off like he's not a writer, but he is actually a writer, but he just don't, he will take the piss out of himself. I just wanted to see him get back into Don't Flop, get another little opportunity and show people what he can do in it, because I feel like he deserves that still.
Yeah,
like that it takes two to make a good battle still.
Yeah, no, completely. I'm just on his verse track actually, and he battled Mickey Worthless on King of the Ronalds.
Yeah, I've seen that still. Yeah, that battle's not worth mentioning, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, I imagine. One of the things I wanted to ask you about, Rivers, in your first, you mentioned the demon Obia. What is that?
I said, what's the line?
Spitfire.
A Spitfire, like demon Obia from Ethiopia. Basically, Obia is like a form of black magic and voodoo and all this type of shit. And obviously Ethiopia's in Africa. Demon Obia. You know, I could have just said Obia, but demon Obia makes it rhyme more with Ethiopia, so I just went with that.
Yeah, I've not really heard that word said in a battle. I was like, what does that mean? Like, it's just kind of, you know, sounds crazy. And like, obviously there's fucking great writing throughout for you in this. Like, I love the whole chop up Quack and roll him in a white sheet like a crispy pancake.
Yeah, that had me busting up when I wrote it. When I wrote that, I was laughing. But this is what I'm saying. My enjoyment more comes... You see, like, when people enjoy it at the show, I love it when I watch it back. It's beautiful, innit? But in the moment, I'm more focused on just getting things off how I'm supposed to get them off, innit? Executing. But when I write it, it's like, as I'm writing it, I can enjoy it, kind of thing, innit? I can't really enjoy it as I'm spitting it at the show or when I'm on the stage. Because more time, I'm trying to focus on what's coming next and not miss no cue or wait for the crowd to settle a little bit or whatever it is that I got to do. So it's writing. But yeah, that was one of them lines. That was one of them lines that had me busting up still.
Yeah, and is it fair to say that the Scientology line is maybe your best bar ever?
I think it's my most well-received bar. I don't know if it's my best bar.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. I mean, it's hard for me to tell you what your best bar is, but I think maybe just in terms of the reaction, it was mad.
Yeah. That I think the whole event, every bar was hitting, but I think that one there was just like, all right, cool, you actually done some new shit now. You know, that everything else I said, yeah, it's cool. Maybe we ain't heard it, or maybe we heard it in a different way, but when I dropped that, it was like, all right, cool, we ain't heard that shit before. Like that. So I think that's why the impact of it was so much in it.
Yeah, it was just
everything else underneath it, cushioning it up. By the time I got to that, it was just like, all right, cool. That's some other stuff still.
Just push the tom out front as cover. Like, it's just perfect, isn't it? It's just so good.
It was meant to be another way. That's the thing about it. That bar was meant to be another way. And I think 2 days or something before, it came to me and I said, "Raw, why am I going the long way when I could just do it like this?" And then I just changed it quick and it just worked. And it's just like, ah, cool. This should go off.
And, you know, after the battle wrapped, how are you feeling? I mean, you just felt good. You were well received as hell.
I felt good because, like, obviously, before I went in there, a lot of people, more people than I care to mention, was saying to me, look, it's a setup.
Right.
It's a setup. You've built yourself up. You've made yourself look good as a gab artist. You're going to go there. They're going to strip all of that away from you now. They're going to make you lose on their stage. You know, like us and them. Don't flop on us. You're going to go don't flop. You're going to go on their stage and you are going to get humiliated. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Don't do it, Rivers. That's what I was hearing. And in my mind, I'm saying, fuck that. Is that what you think? Now I have to do it. Now I have to do it. If you think I'm going to get humiliated and I've got no chance, now I have to do it. You'd have been better telling me, you're going to kill him. Now I'm demotivated. Oh, yeah? You think I'm going to kill him? No point doing it then. You think I'm not going to kill him? All right, cool. I have to do it now, innit? And now, because you're telling me I'm going to get humiliated, I'm going to spit some shit that I can't be humiliated for spitting. You know, like that. Mm. And I knew, going into the battle, I knew to myself, all right, cool. I'm definitely, like, if he see my last battle with Dialect, a lot of battlers make the mistake of judging people in their last battle. If he see my battle with Dialect, he's going to expect me to come in here on some bravado, talking about I'm going to do this, that, and the other, shoot this, that, and the other. Okay, cool. We can't give him that. If we give him that, everything he says is going to land. So what we have to do now is we have to make it not about that, like that. So I'm just happy that it worked to my favor, innit? I felt like he walked into the trap of thinking he could just say something generic about me being a gun bar rapper and it would just work with the crowd because I was going to spit gun bars and they was going to go along with it, and I just had to change it up. And when I left out of there, I was just happy that all the people that were saying to me, oh yeah, I don't know, you're going to get humiliated. All them exact same people were saying, wow, didn't even think you could win, you know, but you did it. Right. You did it. So it's like, it was more a thing of just winning them over and just letting them know, right, have some belief, you know, like that. It's not set in stone. You don't win on paper. You still have to battle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's a fucking great battle. Like, there's no doubt about it. Really fun, awesome atmosphere in that Fiddlers, and it just comes off brilliantly. And was Bamalam, was Don't Flop in touch soon after to set up J Red, or?
I actually did some research on J Red. You want to know the realest thing? Where he's from, he actually does have a reputation in the streets. I mean it, King. What, none of you man never heard what happened to the last shoot who had beef with him? No. J Red went to the youth's mum's house at 3 a.m. on a mad thing. and pushed over a wheelie bin.
I think after that they tried to set me up with something else quickly before that, and then it was like I said no to that, and then afterwards the J Red opportunity popped up, and they said, right, I looked at the card in it and I saw like Soul was on the card and this one was on the card, that one's on. I said, all right, cool, this is a good card to be a part of. And it was like, yeah, battle J Red in it. I was like, all right, cool. Saying that, and I watched J Red. And I thought, all right, cool. I feel like I'm battling like Beavis and Butthead, one of them type of guys. So instead of me going there, it was strategy again. Instead of me going there and just being hood and all this type of shit, let me go there and really try to show him you're not lyrical and I can be. Like that. So that was my whole strategy. But like being outside in that battle, I've never dealt with that type of distraction before, innit? Yeah. You know, like that. It kind of threw me off a lot still, I'm not gonna lie.
Big crowd.
Threw me off a lot. Yeah. But you know, like basically what happened that day is there was a power cut. Imagine that, there was a power cut in Brixton Jam. And while they were sorting all the power cuts out, we was running out of time, and it was just like, all right, if we don't get some of these battles off, by the time the power comes on, we're going to be behind schedule in it. So let's get off some of the early battles quick. And there's a lot of people that wasn't there. I happened to be there, so it was like, all right, cool, you're there, your opponent's there, jump in. It was just like, all right, cool, fuck it, let's go in it. And we just battled out there.
Yeah,
Did our thing, man.
Would you have preferred it indoors then?
Yeah, I think so, man. I think so, because you got to think of it. When you're battling outside, it's like you're hearing cars driving past. You're hearing someone across the road saying, "Yo, Nico, what?" It's like, fam, like I don't want to hear these distractions while I'm battling. But it's like it's whatever, innit? Shit happens sometimes. You just move with it. I could have said to no, I don't want to do it, but I just thought, fuck it, man. I'm hearing it. Let me just jump in, distractions or not. Let me just come and do what I came here to do in it. So I just said fuck it and I just did it.
Yeah, and I love the fucking second where it's mostly like the red flips and stuff like that. Really good. I bet
Red Dwarf.
Yeah, told me out of this world. Truly, who does Red Dwarf? Like,
Yeah.
crazy. I bet you'd feel good if I cane choked and died. That's an asphyxiation fetish.
Yeah. That was a bit of a mad one to fit in. Still,
Yeah. See any foul shit? My dong give you the red card like an assistant referee.
Yeah. A lot of people like that one. Like, it's mad. On the day, I didn't feel like a lot of people got that, but a lot of people have inboxed me and said, "Yo, I love that bar, you know." The assistant referee, like, you gonna pull Red's card, like, yo, that's crazy, like. And Sojitsu's personal favorite is when I said Sojitsu's personal favorite. What's the one that I said something about you'll get outclassed? Like, when I outclass you, that means I got a bigger buzz. You know, like in reference to drugs, innit? If I outclass you, then I get a bigger buzz or some shit like that. Think of drugs. When I outclass you, I get a bigger buzz. Something like that.
Yeah, I don't think I even caught that. That's fucking hard. I love that. That's really good, man. And when you like in the third, sleep with the strap on my pillow like Liv Winter.
Yeah. You know what it is, and I was hoping that she'd be there when I said it, so I could give her a little smile and say, I'm just playing about, but she wasn't there. You know, like when people ain't there, it comes across like, he's just a cunt. He's just literally out here telling people I sleep with a strap on. But yeah, no, it just made sense to write it and put it in. No, it tickled me, so I said, fuck it.
No, it is funny. And I should say as well, Ryo and Ken is said at the start by Ergs. Obviously, you're in blue, he's in red, pretty distinctly. Yeah. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's it. Like, when I knew I was battling J Red, I noticed, like, he always wears red. Yeah, cool. I wear blue, in it. It will make sense, innit? It will make sense. So I just said, fuck it. Do the tracksuit on.
Yeah, no.
Then Ergs coming with his Ryu and Ken comment, but it worked.
Yeah, it did well. You give a little Hadouken, you know, it definitely helps build the vibe. Another good Don't Flop entry. And just before we get on the final battle, the doubles battle, you versus Danny Jack. This was kind of a one-off. What was this?
Basically, with the Danny Jack thing, I forget the guy's name. I don't even want to feel like I'm disrespecting him, but there was like a play that they was doing in I think in Brighton, basically, in the Fringe Theatre. Yeah. It was a play called Bodied. It's crazy because there's a battle rap film out in America now called Bodied.
Yeah, there is.
But this play was out first, if you ask me. Like, I don't know if they was producing it like years ago, but as far as I know, I only heard of the Fringe thing first, innit? That I was part of. But yeah, basically, they liked the J-Red battle. And J-Red, of all the Don't Flop battles, it's not my favourite. I've only done 3 in it, but it's not my favourite one. And they liked that, and they said, okay, cool, we want you to battle someone like Danny Jack. I was like, okay, cool. They basically paid for me to get down there. I stayed up there I stayed down there in Brighton for a couple of days. You know, I went to the show and everything, had drunk with the cast and all these type of things. And me and Danny, basically, there was a part of the play where they're talking about battling and how it's helped them and how they've been through bare things, and battling's helped them out, like the characters. And there's a part where they say, can we get 2 battlers to the stage? Can we get Rivers and Danny Jack? And we go on the stage and we battle. And literally went up there, me and Danny, and it was a bit mad. Danny went first. Danny said something. Then Danny choked.
Right.
He was trying to get it back. He was freestyling a little bit. Then he kind of got it back. Then it was my turn. Then I rapped. Then I didn't choke, but I stumbled over a word. And rather than going back, I just freestyled through to the next bit. And then I got back on it, finished up, got the crowd going crazy. And then that was it. It was a 1 round up between me and him, 4 minutes each round. And then what happened is they never had the camera for the actual performance. So what we did is, when we went outside after and we were all drinking and that, and because Danny choked, I was like, Rod, do you want to get your bars off? And he's like, yeah, man, we can film it. I was like, yeah, do your thing, fam. They filmed it, and we just literally done it outside. I went first this time outside, and then he went second to get his bars off. And that's what they put online. I would have preferred if they put the actual one from inside, because it had a better kind of atmosphere, because I don't really like the outside thing, innit?
No.
That was just more for the day, innit? Like, get your bars off, innit? Everyone, like, the cast was around us, and it's just like, all right, cool, show them what you was actually planning to bring to me, innit? And we did that. They filmed it, put it up. But yeah, it was just, like, that was more strategy than anything else. That was more like, all right, cool, I'm about to battle Tony. Let me take this battle and, you know, like give them the impression, whatever impression they get from this. Because I had a lot of throwaway lyrics as well that I weren't going to use for Tony. So I was like, all right, cool, let me just give them this. They can judge me on these throwaways, and then I can jump in the battle and go hard. And it worked out better than I planned it, because the battle didn't look too good with me and Danny Jack. So it just made, you know, like it put the estimation of what I could bring to Tony and Locksmyth much more lower, innit? It took off the pressure that was on before. It was like, all right, cool, we don't expect 1,000,000,000% from him now, because this is what he did against Danny Jack. What the fuck can he do against Tony? It's like, all right, cool. Thank you. I needed that respite.
And yeah, people need to check this out. It's only got like 500 odd views, and it is an interesting little. I mean the word nicely, but a novelty. It's just like, oh, Rivers and Danny battled at this Brighton play, and like, you know, it's just if obviously if you're a fan of these guys, fan of battle rap, check it out. It's easily found. Danny Jack versus Rivers. But yeah, we'll get on to Tony, which Tony and Locksmyth with Fuhrer on your side, which again is another kind of massive acceleration.
You just want everyone to accept you.
It's mad. God, they accept everyone except you.
I told you. The lack of creativity in your imagination was boring.
And now you think you've got where it actually takes to war with me.
Yeah, my words made locks tighten up like voice-activated security.
With Tom?
The irony gets bigger still.
After all your battles, it turns out that Troy was your Achilles heel. All these
battle Gizmo, you very quickly went on to Big J, and you battle Quack and Don't Flop, then you have Tony in pretty much less than a year. It is mad, isn't it?
Yeah. It's very quick, but I think because I don't know, like me and Tony, that kind of had a backstory to it, to where it's like when I, like in the early days after I had battled Big J, maybe after I'd even battled Dialect. No, sorry. It was before I battled Dialect. I battled. Who did I battle? Before I battled Dialect, I battled somebody anyway, and I was talking to Tony online, and Tony put up a tweet. This is where it all started. Tony put up a tweet, and he said some shit like, "Only Locksmyth knows how much effort I don't put into this battling stuff. Rare. Yeah. Something like that. You know Tony.
Yeah.
So I've replied and I said, look, if you ever battle someone like me, you gonna have to put some effort in. And Tony replied, and before Tony could even reply, Locksmyth jumped in and said, Tony will kill you! Tony will kill you! All excited. And I was thinking, cool, bro. Like, get his dick out your mouth, brother. Like, what the fuck? And it's like, from there, it kind of started a little grudge where it's like, every time I'd see him comment, I'd just jump on him and say, like, why are you talking like you don't try? Of course you try. Everyone tries. He's like, no, I don't care to try. I said to him, if you battled Lux, would you try? No, don't try. I was like, all right, cool. Come to the next Gab event and you can see me when I try, because I'm not afraid to tell people that I'm trying, innit? And that's when I battled Dialect. Tony came down. He actually came down. He watched and everything, and he battled Pedro next. I said to yo, fam, make sure you fuck Pedro up. You know, he's like, yeah, man, I got this. Personally, I think Pedro kind of got him. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like Pedro got him, but obviously, King of the Run was judging, so officially we can't say Pedro won because they chose it as a draw, innit? But I feel like Pedro kind of edged him off, more than edged him off. But yeah, like so. That made me think, okay, cool. So you told me you was gonna try against Pedro, but you didn't try. Boom, boom, boom. Fair enough. So it made me just realize, okay, there's a certain level that maybe Tony don't want to put into it. So we've always been going back and forth, but then somewhere along the line, it turned into me and Locksmyth going back and forth. Tony wouldn't really say nothing, but Locksmyth will always jump to his defense. It's like, do you know what it is? I want to kill you, Locksmyth. That's what it was. I actually had 3 rounds for Locksmyth. Like 3 rounds, I started to memorize them. The battle wasn't even locked in, but I just said to myself, do you know what? I don't care where it goes down. I'll be online every day saying, yo, battle me on Gift of the Gab. He wouldn't bite. No, I don't want to do it. Then he would say, yeah, do you want to battle me in December? All right, cool, let's do it. Then it wouldn't happen. It's like, all right, cool, let's battle on Don't Flop. Nah, I don't want to do it. Because basically what happened with Locksmyth is he gambled on the idea that I wouldn't be popular on Don't Flop. So he's like, all right, cool, I'll battle you on Don't Flop. When the Quack battle came out and I kind of changed people's opinion, it was like, all right, cool. I don't know if I want to battle you no more. Boom, boom, boom. So like basically I forgot about battling Tony altogether. By the time I battled Tony, I've already got the idea of battling him out of my head because I can't chase, you can't chase battlers. If they don't want to battle you, they don't want to battle you, innit? So I just left it at that. And then what happened is now, Trouble and Bracy from Gift of the Gab, Briggsy booked them to do a 2-on-2 against Take Note. And, you know, like, Trouble's come to me and said, yo, like, what do you think about me battling Take Note? I was like, fam, don't even battle them, bro. Why are you going to go and battle Take Note and Take Note want to battle someone from Gab but don't want to come to Gab and do it? It's taking the piss. Like, they might as well come and battle you in Gab. He's like, oh, nah, but obviously Briggsy's got man going up there. He's got man some +1s and all this type of shit. And then he said to me, do you know what it is? It's a good opportunity for me, but I think you should jump on the card as well, bro. And he's like, what? He's like, yeah, like you and Fuhrer do a 2-on-2 or something. Why not, bro? Why not, fam? It's a 2-on-2 event. And he sold it to me like, all right, it's a 2-on-2 event. I was like, do you know what? If it's a 2-on-2 event, let me find out if Fuhrer's on it. So I shouted Fuhrer, I said, yo, you on it? He's like, yeah, man, why not? We said, okay, cool. At the time, when we said we was on it, nobody wanted to battle Bobby Rex and Innuendo, innit? Yeah. So slyly, we stepped in thinking to ourselves, we're going to be the ones that battle Bobby Rex and Innuendo, innit? Since no one else wants to do it, innit? So we jumped in, we said, yeah, throw our names in the hat, we'll do this, innit? Said that to Briggsy. Briggsy's like, yeah, don't watch nothing, I'll get you an opponent. Okay. Then 2-2s, I've seen Locksmyth tweets something cryptic like, oh my gosh, don't know why we did this for. Okay, what the fuck is he on about? What is he on about? Then I got a message from Briggsy saying, yeah, I got you an opponent. I was like, yeah. Well, you know, that all cocky, like, yeah, who is it, Briggsy? He's like, I don't know, just a little opponent called Tony D. Don't know if you've heard of him. I was just like, cool, say nothing, we'll do this. You know, like that. So by the time I got Tony D, it was more Tony's choice. It wasn't my choice. I never had no choice over it. You get what I'm trying to say? It was more Tony recognizing and saying, do you know what? These guys are not trash to where I can't have no battle with them. I can actually battle these guys. They've established themselves enough now to where it ain't going to look kind of out of character for me to go in there with them. It's not going to be like I go in there and wail on them and I whoop them to where it's like, oh man, why did you do them boys so dirty? Nah, it will be a good battle in Manchester as well. So it's like neutral ground. Cool, innit? So we've gone up there and yeah, I enjoyed every moment. From the day they said that we had Tony D and Locksmyth, we was prepping, innit? But I enjoyed every moment of the prep and I enjoyed every moment of the performance and how we was received as well. It was crazy. Like, it's crazy. I don't know if he was in the building for it, but the camera doesn't really tell the story of how it felt in the building. It never does really and truly, but it was different. It was definitely one of my favourite moments. And adjusting Rivers to a 2-on-2 environment with Fuhrer, like, how was that? I think because we got natural chemistry, because obviously I've known Fuhrer my whole life basically, and he's like my brother. So because we got natural chemistry, it's probably a lot easier for us than just two random battlers trying to combine. But it's different. It's like there's a certain way that I am. There's a certain way that Fuhrer is, and together as a team in the middle, there's a certain way that we can both be, you know, like that. So that's how it feels. It feels like you can either make the decision to spit a bar how you want to spit it, or how he wants to spit it, or you lot can both combine and find a new way to deliver it together, collectively, innit? So it's just like being open to more kind of creativity in the writing process. So I loved it. I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed it. I definitely want to do another 2-on-2. We was meant to do a 2-on-2, but because I moved and we wasn't able to be close enough to prep enough, we had to just push it back to another time. But I definitely want to do a next 2-on-2 still. I enjoy that shit. With Fuhrer? Yeah, definitely with Fuhrer. Definitely with Fuhrer. Maybe, I mean, who would you battle? Maybe like Peace Soldier Matter? Do you know what it is? With 2-on-2s, yeah, I don't really even mind. I really don't mind, because 2-on-2s is a brand. Obviously, eventually, Marlo and Shuffle T, and if we're really talking about 2-on-2s, the biggest test is Marlo and Shuffle T, in it. Like, God knows whether or not they would even consider us, man, to battle. I don't think they would, in it, because they got bigger fish to fry. Let's talk about that here, but they're the ultimate test, in it. But I really wouldn't even mind, because I feel like it's such a kind of creative way of battling. It doesn't really even matter who you're in front of, to be honest, because you can make such an impression with you. Like, when we look at the best of Marlo and Shuffle T, it doesn't even matter who they're standing in front of. It really doesn't, because they put on such a show, such a performance, such crazy rounds. It's just like, I don't care who you're battling, you know, like that. If they told you tomorrow, cool, Marlo and Shuffle versus Ricky C and Crisis Music, we're all still gonna watch.
Yeah.
Because we want to see what Marlo and Shuffle T are gonna bring to the table, innit? You know, like that. So that was kind of my ethic with like even going back to the Quack battle. It's like, yeah, Quack's not the most popular, but if I can do something crazy enough to where you enjoy what I bring to the table, then it doesn't really matter who I was battling, really and truly.
And
so that's it.
Yeah, and this battle, as I say prior, Tony has some incredible rivers flips in this. You know, see me ducking rivers, I'm getting baptized. But for me, it's we EastEnders from the start. You'd be seeing rivers flat out.
Yeah. That was nice.
That's fucking imaginative as hell. Like, that's so good.
Yeah. Man, he said some shit like he had Fuhrer flips as well. Man said bars like bullets that will hell Fuhrer. You know, like
dying with his bitch like Eva Braun.
Yeah, man said I got this square under my nose like Hitler's tash.
Yeah.
Like Locksmyth, you know, like that.
Oh yeah, he said Fuhrer taking the L after the L in this round like a swastika. That's fucking crazy. That is.
Come on. Like they never came to play with us at all. They never came to play with us, man. No. So yeah, it was that battle there was mad. Like, and the way how after we came out the ring, the love that the people of Manchester showed us. Like Manchester is like home away from home, innit? So the love that we got shown, and I'm a Man United fan as well.
Right.
So it was just a beautiful thing to connect with people in Manchester and have them respecting what we brought to the table, you know, like that. They loved what we was doing, and I respected it still. And you know, like it could have been like a lot of time you see Tony's battles, and it's like when he battles people that aren't so known, it's very hard for them. But I felt like it wasn't that hard for us. Still, it wasn't.
It's a criminally underviewed battle, to be honest with you. It's like not even broke 20,000 views considering the talent involved. I mean, are views something you think about, or?
Not really, you know, to be honest, because like I say, I'm more on the creation and performance side, innit? That's what's more important to me. Like, I feel like if I get that right, then nothing else really matters, innit? Like, if it's good enough, then whoever sees it will see it, innit? But I feel like I'd rather have a great performance that a few people have seen than a standard performance that 100,000 people have seen, innit? You know, like that. And that's not me shitting on anyone with 100,000 views, because I respect the fact that you've got them views and everything, but I'd still always look for quality. Like, if I had two battles, I'd prefer the one where I'm better than the one where I'm worse. Yeah, I'm trying to say.
Right, yeah.
That's it.
No, definitely, man, definitely. And you know, you guys do a little bit. It's funny you mentioned Shuffle and Marlo, like you and Fuhrer, where you kind of like synchronize up in the third and like kind of all lined up. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. We've been watching the Marlo and Shuffle T game tapes.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to, like, they've definitely set the bar on how, you know, in terms of two, like even like Quest Marv 1 and Quest McCody as well. Like those are two of the original 2-on-2s that was doing it way back in the freestyle era days, innit? But in this era now, Marlo and Shuffle T, they've got a lot. They've got everything. It's mad. It's got to the point now where I don't know if they're good separately as they are good together. Right. I don't know. I'm not sure. You know, like that, because I'm starting to enjoy their 2-on-2s a lot more than their separate battles. You know, like that. Yeah.
What's your favourite of their performances together?
I got loads of them, man. I don't like. I tell you which one I don't like. I don't like the Big J battle. There's certain things that Shuffle T was saying in there. It was like, nah. There's lines, bro. Right. There's lines.
Pause.
Yeah. But I think I like Rowan and Pat Stay versus them.
Yeah.
Marlon Shuffle T. I like I feel like they got Dialect, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
they got Dialect still. Dialect and Zen. There's one more as well.
They a great battle against C and Crack.
Oh yeah. But you know, which one was the one where there was like synchronized?
Oh, that was Wizard and Shiz, yeah.
Yeah. Wizard and Shiz. Yeah. That battle there as well. Like they've got a bunch in it. I even like I like Shuffle T's recent one against Raptor, that third round. Where he was on the phone to his mom. Like he's just creative. And I said this to someone the other day. I said, give this guy maybe 3 years or something like that, 4 years. Shuffle T, watch this. Shuffle T will be on TV. Like he'll have, whether it's his own show or whether he's part of the staff of a show or whether he's part of the cast or something, he will be on TV. He's got everything it takes. Like both of them, even together as a collective, they could do something. But I feel like Shuffle's more kind of got the look and the kind of he's just got something about him. Like he just looks like I could just imagine him on TV.
You can imagine him on like a panel show or some shit. Like
definitely,
he'd kill on like an 8 out of 10 Cats or something like that. I don't know if that's sort of his. I know he likes to do sketch stuff, but I completely agree with you. I think he'd and what a good look for battle rap.
I could see, I could see Shuffle T kind of in the vein of, like Jack Whitehall. You know who Jack Whitehall is?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I could see Shuffle T kind of that road there where he could be the guy in the TV show and then from there go on to the panel shows. Like based on the fact that he was the character first or whatever and then go on to there. But he's hilarious. He's a smart youth though, and he's hilarious, isn't it?
No, he's I just had him on the show actually and he was a fucking treat, man. Yeah, that was a great episode. But I mean that sort of wraps up your battle career up to this point, but obviously, and we'll wrap up with a few quick fire questions, Rivers, just whatever comes to your head, because I'm going to ask you your favourites, but I appreciate it's hard when you put on the spot. But first of all, do you have a favourite Don't Flop battle?
Favourite Don't Flop. One battle that I always go back to on Don't Flop is Disaster versus Censor.
Oh, okay.
I always go back to that battle because I feel like Disaster was on his freestyle shit that day. And at the same time, Censor wasn't trying to let Disaster intimidate him. You're right, yeah. Yeah, Censor wasn't trying to make Disaster intimidate him one bit. So it's one of my favourites still. And I liked the whole, like, the blood in the water days, and I liked that kind of atmosphere.
Classic. King of the Dot?
King of the Dot, there's so much as well, man. So many. I'll say one, a kind of relatively old school one, Danny Myers versus Romney.
Oh, classic.
Old school classic. Well, it's not even that old school.
No.
It's 2 years, 3 years or something, isn't it? But it's one of my favourites.
No, that is the energy in that one. And now they're both like superstars, aren't they? But
that's it. But that's them right before anyone would have even known where they would have headed.
And URL?
URL. Do you know what it is? Man, I got a lot of favourite URL battles, but it's seasonal, innit? So I like to watch. Like I have moments in it. I just have times where it's like I'll watch a lot of his battles, and I watch a lot of his. One battle I like to see is it's a UFF battle, only because I feel like it's a savagery. But T-Top versus the Saga. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Brilliant.
That Saga got mullered. Like he got destroyed, like fully destroyed. And I enjoy watching him die in it. So that's one of my favourites. But I got loads of favourites. Like even for all the other leagues that you said, I got loads of favourites.
Well, I wanted to ask you Gab finally. Like, what's your favourite Gab battle?
I don't know. I got a lot of favourite Gab battles still. I got a lot. Can I give you like three or
please?
Three
Yeah, please.
Okay, you know what it is? This is how I'll keep it fair. I'll give one old school battle, and then the other two will be new battles. Yeah? Right. Just to shine some light on these new ones. My old school battle is gonna be probably Gizmo versus Ace Boogie.
Right.
That's my old school one that I enjoy. And the new ones that I enjoy are gonna have to be Surf versus Shocks.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I like Surf versus Shocks, and I like Celeste versus A. I don't know if you've seen that one there, but A came and put on a masterclass in it. 3 very well crafted rounds, like that. Good openers, good finishers, and he just handled it good. And Celeste is very kind of lyrical. He's finding his feet and everything, but he adapted his style a lot more, so it made it more of a match, like that. But A was just a bit more well-rounded and professional, so I gave it to A.
And last two questions, Rivers, non-battle rap related. The first one, what's your favourite film?
This is another one like the battles where it's like I've got so much favorite films, but one of my favorite classic films is Leon.
No, good, The Professional.
You know Leon.
Yeah, of course, love that film.
Yeah, I like thrillers in it, so I like gangster films in it. But I like thrillers where you're twisting the tail, you're thinking who's the murderer and rare. I like them type of films in it. So. And
finally, your favourite band or artists that aren't in any way hip hop related?
I've got loads, man. I like Radiohead.
Yeah.
I like a band called Elysian Fields. I don't know if you've heard of them.
No, I haven't. No, that's interesting.
I like Nirvana as well. Like old school Nirvana. I like what else do I like? I like a lot of music. Like, I hardly ever even listen to rap and hip hop. To be honest, you know, like that. It's in a weird way. I feel like I am rap and hip hop. I rap. You know, like that, and I make music and all this type of stuff. So I always try to draw experience and influence from outside of it, because I don't want to come off sounding the same as every other rapper. If I'm taking influence from within hip hop and I am hip hop, how different can I sound? To get what I'm trying to say. So I try to take more influence from outside of rap, you know, like that. So I listen to a lot of old school shit, you know, like that, like Curtis Mayfield and you know, like just classics. And recently I've been listening to a little bit more classical music, you know, like that. Just like as in the background and shit. I don't know, it's just different, innit? I just like to listen to a range of different music, innit? I'm not stuck in one genre at all.
No, sweet, man. And I guess finally, like, how do people get at you? Twitter, Facebook, that sort of thing, social media? I'm
on Twitter, I'm on Instagram. Rivers Lacoca, Rivers_Lacoca, and Facebook is Rivers Lacoca, and what's the other one? Twitter is Rivers_LDR, you know, and you can subscribe to the Gift of the Gab TV on YouTube, you know, like that. Don't Flop Entertainment, King of the Ronalds, UK Rap, you know what I mean? Battle Rap Resume on YouTube. The whole shebang.
Yeah. And Rivers, thanks so much, man. This has been great.
No problem, Tom, man. Anytime, innit? I want to get the number 2 interview in very soon, but I've got to do this villain battle first and a few other things, and then we'll get back. I'll probably come and talk to you about some music that I'm looking to do later down as well.
Yeah, man. Absolutely, whatever. It's been a pleasure, bro.
All right, my brother. Look after yourself.